I was just here for CES about 2 seconds ago. And it was so interesting because I feel like two of the biggest buzzwords were certainly retail media networks and connected TV. And I think if you take a step back, it makes a ton of sense. Both from a consumer perspective have arguably the strongest relationship one-to-one with the consumer. Both have enormous scale and are growing up and to the right. And I think similar to retail media companies, Roku is constantly looking for ways to provide more full funnel, accountable opportunities for brand advertisers. So naturally, we have really converged with retail media, and we've started to broker a lot of partnerships because we have a lot of similarities in terms of why brands look to partner with us, and then we have a lot of similar goals.
So can you talk about that a little bit more? Talk about some of the partnerships and kind of why they make sense.
Sure. So for the retail media ecosystem, we're really looking to round out a really comprehensive list of partners who can help make the brands who want to partner with us have more accountability in streaming. So one of our most recent partnerships is Best Buy. So for the tech industry, you can imagine, they're very, very stressed by the economic uncertainty. For them, every dollar has to matter. So they're really looking for Roku to provide scale, innovative ad units, creative one-to-one messaging, but they also increasingly need accountability. They need to understand, okay, I spent X amount of money on Roku, what was the impact and what did it mean in terms of purchase? So we're partnering with Best Buy to provide that exact opportunity for them. So we're looking at really targeted, really measurable media partnerships, and we're going to work with Best Buy to look at both endemic tech sector and what brands need from us, as well as non-endemic, and find really interesting ways to provide measurability in a way that nobody else can right now.
Well, it's interesting because I would say the television industry in general has not necessarily measured against sort of true outcomes. Mm-hmm. And so is that something you're finding as a real opportunity, again, when you talk about accountability for streaming?
100%. And I think while we are not Facebook today and showing you ROAS on every dollar spent, that's where this is headed. And I think as America's #1 streaming platform, it's sort of our responsibility to help educate the ecosystem on what that should mean for streaming. So full funnel, performance, accountability, all those buzzwords mean something very different in social than they mean in streaming today. But we're really, whether it's building proprietary or partnering with retail media companies, we're looking to define that for streaming because 1000%, streaming has the capabilities, the digital chops, and then the biggest screen in the house to provide a full funnel solution selling to advertisers.
So maybe in this vein, Roku has gotten into the hardware business. You're building TVs now. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So whether the average consumer knows it or not, Roku's always powers over 50% of televisions in America. So what you probably saw at CES is we're now rolled out on, I think, March 12th, our first Roku televisions, built, operating system, all the good stuff. It's actually exclusively sold by Best Buy. So just another facet of our really interesting partnership with Best Buy. But for us, it's just a way to continue to, in a very intimate way at scale, understand what consumers want, what they're looking for, deliver them the best experience in streaming, and then with that, in terms of what it means for brand advertisers, it enables us to understand and predict behavior. I mean, when it comes to shoppability on TV, like really only the operating system can understand what are the consumer behaviors, how do we adapt to, adapt for a future of shoppability. We've been doing that for over 2 years at scale. Like, the amount that we've learned and our ability to actually drive down funnel straight from the TV screen is pretty incredible, but we wouldn't be able to do that if we were not the hardware, the software, that remote that people push 200 times a day.
And I imagine the partnerships with retailers also is an advancement toward that goal as well?
Yes, 1000%. And I think, again, it comes down to the really interesting mutual goal that we have with our retail partners that I don't think anyone else has. And that's why we'll continue to think about partnerships like Best Buy, and we'll look to fill gaps where we don't have partnerships that can offer that full funnel accountability, and you'll keep seeing partnerships like the Best Buys of the world, like Walmart Connect, like DoorDash, that are all about enabling the best possible consumer experience, but also delivering the best TV ads that are measurable, targetable, and really innovative.